Hello and welcome back to another Saturday episode of me playing Team Fortress 2 very badly while I talk about random stuff. A new episode of Bobson Rants. So, what is it I want to talk about this week while I'm playing? Last week I was talking about gaming addiction, video game addiction, and that led into me talking about MMOs and why they're dying and why they're not as addictive as they used to be. And led to me talking about stuff like World of Warcraft and like that, which is the longest running current MMO out there, I think, unless EverQuest is still going. Is EverQuest still going? I'm not sure. The original EverQuest, not EverQuest 2, is it still going? I think it actually is still going, but yeah. It led me to talking about World of Warcraft and why it's not as addictive and why it's dying and why MMOs are dying in general. And then last Sunday, there was news and stuff coming out about it, but I had already recorded my episode last week, sometime midweek. I think it was Wednesday, Thursday. I said I recorded it. But yeah, there was news coming out that Blizzard had sent a cease and desist order to this very popular private World of Warcraft server. I think what's the name of it? Nostalrius or something? What is the name of that? Let's see, it is Nostalrius. I think it's Nostalrius. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, it was a very popular vanilla private server thing. It had been set up, it had been run independently of Blizzard. I don't think they were charging anyone for it, so I don't think that was the issue. But yeah, they sent a cease and desist letter to them, and it was shut down last Sunday. And I just thought that I might want to talk about that this week, I guess. But yeah, it's one of those things that people want to play World of Warcraft, the vanilla version of World of Warcraft, and that's why the vanilla private servers exist. People decide to make one, set it up, get all the coding right, get all the bosses and stuff right, and they put it out there for people to play on. Most of the time free of charge. I'm not really sure about how a lot of them run, or how a lot of them actually pay for all this stuff, but yeah. Apparently this one was fairly popular. If reports are to be believed, it had like 800,000 people registered on a regular basis. It had like 100,000, 150,000 players actively playing on it. So it wasn't just a tiny little server. It was like a big time popular private server that people played on. And Blizzard just shut it down. And that's their prerogative. It is their intellectual property. And it was being hosted without their permission. So they had every legal right to do so. But at the same time, why? I mean, why even do that? It's not really that big of a deal when you think about it, because what they were putting out there was vanilla World of Warcraft. And right up to level 60, I think it was the patch right up before Burning Crusade came out. So it was completely vanilla, completely basic, earliest version of the game before any of the expansions. So that version of the game no longer exists in any official capacity. You cannot play that game anywhere on World of Warcraft, the official World of Warcraft servers. That complete experience is gone. There is no way you can actually get that outside of like a private server. And for years, people have been asking Blizzard to do just that, to set up vanilla servers or Burning Crusade servers or something that was limited to what the game was at a certain point, just so they could play on it, just so they could have that experience. And that's the real problem with MMOs. That's the real problem with any game like this that has regular updates, that has regular massive expansions that completely increase the level cap, increase the game, and expand it to the point that all the previous content becomes irrelevant or is just completely ignored now. And that's what happened to the old content in World of Warcraft. The vanilla content was overshadowed by Burning Crusade, and it just became a a speed bump on the way to getting to Burning Crusade. And that's how every expansion was. and currently still is. Everything that came before it, completely irrelevant. So if you started playing during Burning Crusade or later, you completely missed out on the vanilla experience. You completely missed out on playing the game as it was back then. And the content was still there. All the raids, all the games, everything. But the experience of playing it with people, of actually playing the content, that was completely gone. And that's the experience these private servers offer. And that's what people want. I mean, 800,000 people were registered to this server with 150,000 playing regularly. So they had to be doing something right. It had to be close enough to the original experience that people wanted to play on it. And yes, it's a bit about nostalgia of people who were playing back then, wanting to go back and having that experience again. But the real problem is, if you were there, if you were playing through it, then you can't really go back. That experience is gone. It's just not there in the real game, or even in a private server like this, because it would never be exactly the same. But if Blizzard would offer a paid server, I mean, there are people who would pay the monthly subscription fee to play on a vanilla WoW server, or a Burning Crusade expansion server, or Lich King expansion server. There were people who would do that. There have been posts and forum threads for years now begging Blizzard to do that, but they refuse. Their excuse is that they don't have the code, they don't have the files they would need to actually do something like that, so they would have to basically rebuild it from scratch, is their excuse. They would have to redo it from scratch. Essentially what the people who put out this private server actually did, they would have to do. So these random people who put together this private server, Nostalrius or whatever it was called, were better equipped to remake vanilla World of Warcraft than Blizzard themselves. So that is just hilarious to me. But it ties into what I was talking about last week. People want this. People want what the game was 10 years ago. And that's the problem. Because the game as it currently sits is nowhere near as much fun as it was back then. I mean, yes, I might just be looking at it through rose-tinted nostalgia goggles, but yeah, it was a lot more fun back then. And it was because of all the crap that was wrong. It was because of all the problems that were there. The fact that you couldn't fly around, the fact that you had to run on foot from one side of the world to the other until you hit 40. You literally had to run from one end of a continent to the other, all the way just to get the flight points until you hit 40 so you could actually get a mount. And then it was just a crappy mount. It was just a 60% speed increase mount. You didn't even get the 100% speed until 60. But yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of the experience things that you don't get anymore, because they made it overly simplified. And that's the problem. As they add more expansions, as they add more content, they change the fundamental ways the characters play, the individual classes play, and everything played. And even if you wanted to just play the vanilla content, even if you just wanted to play through it as if you were still, if it was still back then, you can't do it, because literally the classes, the characters are not the same. They don't play the same. The content itself is gone. I mean, the original vanilla game is gone. They completely rebuilt it during one of the expansions, so the original world itself is gone. So, yeah, even if you wanted to go back and play through the old content, even if you wanted to go back and play through the old game, you could not do that on any of the official WoW servers. So, yeah, the only way you can do it is through one of these private servers with people who actually care and actually want to put that experience out there for people who enjoy and have fun with. But Blizzard doesn't want that to happen. Now, it's probably because they don't want competition. They don't want They think that these servers are taking people away from their game. They're taking people away from the official Blizzard subscription game, and it's costing them money and stuff like that. And that might be true. But the reason it's true is because they are not providing the service that these independent servers are providing. They're not giving the people the game they want to play. They're giving them the game they want to put out. So, yeah. If they were providing a vanilla server, if they were providing this service, I could understand them assuming that this is taking money away from them, but it's not. They are not. So, I don't know. I mean, yes, they are well within their rights to do it, just to take everything down, take down all the private servers, simply because they own the game, it's their game, they have the intellectual property, they have the copyrights, they have the trademarks, they have all that stuff, so they have the legal right to do it. But they are not providing the service that these private services are. The private servers are. So I would love to play on a vanilla server again, just for a little bit, but that's probably never going to happen, ever again, because, wow, Blizzard just doesn't want to do it, and I doubt they ever will do it, so good luck just finding one of those crappy private servers that don't have that level of detail, that level of professionalism to recreate the game as it was back then. Because that is one of the things that is missing. It is missing. The experience that it was back then is missing in the game it is today. And I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that because that was in the news. I saw that on Yahoo News, MSN, and any other news thing had at least one thing talking about this over the past week. And I just wanted to mention it because last week I was talking about gaming addiction and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. You're probably sick of hearing me talk about World of Warcraft, but I've been playing it again. I know. I've just sat here complaining for the past 10, 12 minutes about the lack of a good experience in World of Warcraft. But yeah, I picked it up again. I picked up the expansion, the latest expansion, Warlords of Draenor, like a month or two ago, and I've been playing it, and yeah, it's just not the same as it used to be. It's not as much fun. I'm just hanging around, farting around inside the game. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm able to pay for the game, pay for my monthly subscription with in-game gold, I probably wouldn't even be playing anymore. I would have quit after the first month. But I can still play simply because I have enough gold in-game to buy a monthly subscription. So yeah, that's the only reason I'm even playing it anymore. But yeah, you guys are probably sick of listening to me talk about World of Warcraft and its good old days, like some silly old guy reminiscing about how things were better way back in my day. We had to run all the way from Stormwind to friggin' Booty Bay. We could not take a flight point. We had to walk on foot all the way through Stranglethorn Vale. And all we had to do was fight evil monkeys. There were monkeys on that road. You couldn't even run for the monkeys. They would eat you. They would beat you into the ground. Back in my day. That's the kind of crap I sound like, isn't it? That's what I sound like right now. A crazy old guy talking about the good old days. No. Damn it. I guess that's enough for me. That's enough for me. I'm going to go have a nap now. And I'm going to take a nap. Oh, get a glass of milk, have a nap, and then come back next week with another rant about random crap, you know. Anyway, what the hell am I even doing? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't really know what I'm saying. I don't even know. Anyway, thanks for watching. I guess that's long enough for this week's idiocy. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been Bobson. This has been another Bobson rant about random crap for 15 minutes. But yeah, anyway, let's see. Should I say something quick about my channel? What's coming up? Last week, I had some Don't Starve, I had some more Terraria, as well as some more Orcs Must Die Unleashed. Hopefully I will have even more next week. I have not died in Don't Starve yet, which is a bonus. So until I do die, I'll keep putting out more videos, I guess. Orcs Must Die, still having fun with that. If you haven't checked it out, go check out my videos. Go check out the game. It is a lot of fun. It is a well, it's hard to describe. It's kind of a tower defense, trap defense, hero defense, MOBA style 5v5 game thing now. So it's free to play. Check it out on Steam if you want to. Or check out my videos, then check it out on Steam. More Terraria. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing next week. Last week I set up some more stuff. Checked out the dungeons, checked out the jungle temples and stuff like that. So go check that out. Go check out my channel, check out everything else, and I will see you later. Bye.